Hello everyone, today we're going to do May-June 2016 paper 4 variant 2. Question 1. Mr. Chan flies from London to Los Angeles at a distance of 8,800 kilometers. The flight takes 11 hours 10 minutes. His plane leaves London at 9:35 local time. The local time in Los Angeles is 8 hours behind the time in London. Calculate the local time when the plane arrives in London. So basically, he goes out at 9:35. But notice here, before we start this question, in order to solve questions like this, you'll need to know this button in your calculator that looks something like this. You have to use it. This one. For example, it will look something like that. 35. Anyways, now 9:35 plus 11 and 10 minutes. That's the time of the journey. So that would give you, he will arrive at 20:45. But this number, 20:45, is a London time zone. We want to change that to Los Angeles time zone by minusing 8 hours, because it says here it's 8 hours behind Los Angeles. So 20:45 minus 8 hours, which is 12:45. That's the answer. Work out the average speed of the plane in kilometers per hour. So we know that the speed equals distance over time. The distance here is 8,800 kilometers over the time. I know the time, we know it's 11 hours 10 minutes. But 10 minutes is not in hours format, because it's they wanted kilometers per hour. But 11 hours is already hours, so you're gonna have to convert 10 minutes to hours by dividing it by 60. That would give you 1/6. And so 11 plus 1/6 should give you 67/6, if I'm not mistaken. And so basically 88,000 divided by 67/6, that would give you 788 kilometers per hour. So now question B, there are 3 types of tickets: economy, business, and first class. The price of these tickets in the ratio economy to business to first class, 2 to 5 to 9. The price of a business ticket is 2,350. Calculate the price of first class ticket. And so we know that the business class is 5, and the ratio is 5. And we know the value of 5, which is 2,350. They want to know the price of first class tickets. First class ticket is 9. And so you write 9 here under the 5, which is in the ratio column. And so cross multiply. 9 times 2,350 divided by 5, and you get 4,230. That is the number. Work out the price of an economy ticket as a percentage of the first class ticket. The first class ticket we already know is 4,230, but the economy ticket we don't know yet. So let's find it the same way we found the first class. Again, 5 is 2,350. The economy ticket is 2. You cross multiply, you get 440. And so now we know the economy ticket price and we know the first class ticket price. Now they want us to write it as a percentage of a first class ticket. So basically 440 over 4,230, which is the first class, times 100. That would equal to 2.22%. 22.22%. So now, question C, the price of a business ticket for the same journey with another airline is 2,240. So basically now, just forget about the business ticket, which equals 2,350. Now it's a new number, new airline, so focus on this. Cross this one out. The price of a first class ticket is 70% more than a business ticket. So we know the price of first class ticket. First class ticket is 170. because 70% more. More, that means it's 170. You add to 100, so 170. 170% is a first class ticket. First class ticket, do we know it? We don't know it, so it's X. And now the business ticket, we know the business ticket is 2,240. It's 100%. So 100% is 2,240. So basically now cross multiply 170 times 2, 240 divided by 100, you will get X. X equals 3,808. That's the price of the first class ticket. Now moving on to the next question, II. The price of a business ticket is 180% more. Notice here, more is in bold, so that you focus on it, than an economy ticket. Calculate the price of this economy ticket. The price of this is 180% more. As I told you before, more means plus 100, so it's 280%. Business ticket. The business ticket, we already know it, it's written here. It's 2,240, so 2,240 equals 240 equals 200%. And now calculate the price of economy ticket. The economy ticket is 100%. Cross multiply, and so you will get $800. That is your answer. And now this is a quite tricky question. So Mr. Chan hires a car in Los Angeles. The changes are shown below. Alright, $28 per day plus $6.50 per day insurance. So you add them up before you do anything. Plus 6.5 equals 34.5. So this is the price that he pays per day. Okay? And now 1.25 for every kilometer traveled after the first 800 kilometers. So this is the keyword here. After the first 800 kilometers. The first 800 kilometers are included in the price. What does that mean? That means that this first 800 kilometers is included with this price. That means if you pay $34.5, you will get 800 kilometers free. Alright. Okay, hope you understand that. Now Mr. Chan hired the car for 12 days and paid $826.5. Find the number of kilometers Mr. Chan traveled in this car. Okay. So now 12 days, and this is the price per day. What you do is for 34.5 times 12 to find out how much he had to pay, which is $414. But it says here that he paid $826. What does that mean? That means that this $826 included the 800 kilometers. So you minus, because you want to find out after the first 800 kilometers, because he starts paying $1.25 after the first 800 kilometers. So in order to calculate how much he traveled, you have to find that, because that's the unit. 1.5 is equal 1 kilometer, equals 1 kilometer after the 800 kilometers. So you have to minus 826.5 minus 414, and that would equal 412.5. And so it's 412.5. This is the price, 412.5. He paid after the first 800 kilometers. Okay, excluding the insurance and per day. It's only this one. After, this is the price for this information. And so 412.5 divided by 1.25 to find out how much kilometers he traveled. 1.25. It's 330 kilometers. What does this mean? 330 kilometers. He traveled after the 800 kilometers. And so they want his total how much kilometers he traveled in this car. So basically you have to add now 800 kilometers plus 330 kilometers. To find out his total, we'll call it mileage. 130 kilometers. That is your answer. Okay, I hope you understand. Now moving on to the next question. The car used fuel at an average rate of 1 liter for every 10 kilometers traveled. Fuel costs $1.30 per liter. Okay, so basically it's $1.30 per 10 kilometers. Calculate the cost of the fuel used by a car during the 12 days. Now we know that during these 12 days he traveled 1,130 kilometers. You cross multiply to find out the cost of fuel, and that will be 100 for $64.9. Now question 2, work out the value of x for each of the following. This is basically indices. So in order to solve this kind of questions, you have to make the bases equal so that the power should also be equal to find out x, because x is in the power form. So 3 to the power of x, that means the base should be 3. 243 written with a base of 3 is 3 to the power of 5. You can, if you don't know that, you can experiment using the calculator. 3 to the power of 2, 9, 3 to the power of 3, blah blah blah, until you find out 243. So x equals 5. Now 16 to the power of x and 4. In this case, we want 4 to be the base, because 16 can be written as a base of 4. 4 to the power of 2 is 16. So cross multiplied by x, because x is still there, equals 4 to the power of 1. Okay, now 4 to the power of 2, 2 to x, so that means it's 4 to the power of 2x, because you're going to expand the bracket, equals 4 to the power of 1. Now this equal base is equal base, so 2x equals 1, divide by 2 both sides, x equals half. And so next question, 8 to the power of x and 32. And now this one, 32 cannot be written to the base of 8, but both can be written to the base of 2. 2 to the power of 3 is 8, and 2 to the power of 5 is 32. And so expand the bracket, this 2 to the power of 3x equals 2 to the power of 5. That means 3x equals 5. Divide by 3 both sides, and you'll get x equals 5 over 3. And now this one, 27 to the power of x and 9. So first of all, before we start, 27 to the power of x, 9 can be written as, when it's 1 over 9, it's basically 9 to the power of negative 1. Now that we know that, 27 cannot be written to the base of 9, and 9 can be written to the base of 27, of course. So both of them can be written to the base of 3. And so 3 to the power of 3 is 27. So x, and 9 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 2 equals 9. So expand the brackets, 3 to the power of 3x equals 3 to the power of negative 2. And so 3x equals negative 2. Divide by 3, divide by 3. You'll get x equals negative 2 over 3. Now solve by factorization. Show you working. So in this kind of question, if you don't know how to factorize using brackets method, you can simply use a calculator, because they said show you working, but they won't know that you're using a calculator. So basically you press on mode on your calculator, equation, which is 5 and number 3, and then fill in the calculator y. The first one is 1, so you fill in 1 and press equal. B is negative 7, so you write negative 7 equal, then negative 30 equal. And C, you get x, x1 equals 10. That means here x equals negative 10. And then again, x2 equals negative 3. That also means x equals positive 3. The inverse of what you get, the sign, change the sign. Because later on you're gonna say x equals 10, as the calculator said, and x equals negative 3. That's how you show working this kind of questions. Oh, sorry, y. These all are y, not x. So it's 10, negative 3. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. Question 3. Now on the grid, draw the image of shape A after reflection in the line x1. So basically x1 is here. Okay, now reflection in this line. Basically you see the gap 1, 2, then you count 1, 2, this is the first point, and then 1, 2, again 1, 2, that's the second point. And this point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the other point. This one's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The second point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the third, so the fourth. Just do this thing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That one like that, and then you connect the lines. That is the image. And now shape scale factor -2, center 0, 1. Center 0, 1 is right here. So what you do in this case is you draw a straight line. Oh, this is going to be hard. Draw a straight line. It's not straight line, but you know what I mean. This is impossible. Okay, let me. Okay. You draw a straight line. Okay. Okay. So anyways, you get what I mean. So now they said that the scale factor is 2. That means it's 2. Now from here until the center point is 1. You count 2 from the center point. 1, 2. This is the first point. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So sorry, 2 times the scale factor, which is 2. That means it's 4. So this is the first point. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the second point. And then here the scale factor is 1. And so the scale factor should be 2. This is 2. This is the second point. And now this is 1. That means times 2 is 2. This is 2. Times 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second point. If you notice, these lines I drew should match the points. The points should lie on the line as well that you drew. And then here, last one is 1, 2, 3 times 2 is 6. Means it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last one is 2 times 2, which is like that. And now this is the image. And now shape A after transformation represented by the matrix 0, -1, 1, 0. Okay, that means it's a 90-degree anti-clockwise. So what you do here, you draw something like a clock arm. Imagine a clock arm. 90-degree anti-clockwise, it would look something like this. And this is the first point. And you draw like that, clock arm. Imagine it's going to be something like this. So this is the second point. And etc. Here's the clock arm. It's going to be something like this. Second point. And until it will look like something like this. Okay, now describe fully the single transformation represented by the matrix 3, 0, 0, 3. This is the enlargement format. So it's enlargement. Scale factor equals 3. And center equals 0, 0. Moving on. Question 4. You fill in the table by substituting the x values in the equation. You'll get here -1 and -2 and 2 -½ Go down. The graph would look something like this. Starts from somewhere here. The other one is something like this. This is how it will look like. Anyways, now use a graph to solve the equation fx equals 0. You go to where fx equals 0, which is this line. You draw a line, fx equals 0, which is the x-axis. Now this is the first solution, 1, 2, and 3. You write them down in the gaps there. You get something like -1.95 and -2.4 and 2.1. Now find an integer k for which fx has no solution. Okay, now with this kind of questions, integer k, so fx is the y-axis, right? And so -2, if you draw a line at where fx equals -2, it has two solutions, 1 and 2, right? And we don't want that. They said they want only one solution. And if you draw somewhere here in -1, you'll have three solutions, 1, 2, and 3, which is what we don't want either. We want only one solution. So where is that possible? It's an integer value. It can be 3. Let's try 3. 3 is right. It's one solution. And as for -4, -5, 6, 7, etc. So you say that k is less or equal to -3. K less or equal to -3. And they want any integer, so you don't write this inequality. You write any integer. You can say -3 or -4, etc. It's up to you, but only one integer. So we'll settle for -3. Now by drawing suitable straight lines of the equation fx plus 2 equals -5x. So first of all, you rewrite this equation to -fx minus 2. Now it's more like an equation that we can deal with. And now a straight line. For drawing straight lines, you need 2 points. 2 points. These 2 points can be 0 for x. And then substitute 0 here. Fx will equal -2, so it's -2. And then you'll have y equals 0. And then you'll get -0. You get 0 equals -5x minus 2. Take -2 to the other side. You'll have 2 equals -5x divided by -5 by -5. So it's here going to be -2 over 5. These are the 2 points. So you go to where the graph is, and then you point them and you draw a straight line. The straight line will look something like this. This is the first point, and this is the second point. So it would look like something like this. Bear with me. Something like this. Anyhow, now it says here by drawing solve the equation. Solve the equation. That means the intersection with the graph. That's what they want. This intersection and this intersection. You draw a line from that intersection to the x-axis to find the value, and same goes here. So you'll have -2.3 and negative 0.3 and 0.6. And now if x plus 2 equals negative 5 can be written as this. Find the value of a and the value of b. So as I said, you write the equation. You will have something like these, negative 5x, negative 2. And now we notice that fx has another equation as well, which is the one that we drew a graph using, which is x squared minus 1 over x minus 4. So you write it down here. Now fx equals these numbers and fx equals that, so that means that these equal these. So minus 5x minus 2 equals x squared minus 1 over 4 over x, minus 4. And so you simplify this equation and you get your values of a and b. Write this in the form of this. So basically x squared is positive here, so x squared doesn't go there, it stays there. Negative 5x. Oh, sorry, now multiply all by x to get rid of the denominator. So it's going to be negative 5x squared minus 2x equals x cubed minus 1 minus 4x. So we write this, x squared is x cubed, as I said, is positive, so it stays in this side. And then all others go to the other side. So x cubed minus 4x plus 2x is minus 2x. And so minus 5x goes to the other side. Oops, sorry, my bad. Minus 5x goes there, so it's going to be positive 5x squared. And here minus 2x minus 1 equals 0. And so b is negative 2 and a is 5. Plays a game. The game involves throwing a coin onto a circular board. Points are scored for the coin lands on the board. Okay, if the coin lands on the board and misses 0. Okay, anyways. Now points scored to any probability is x, 10, 0.2, 5, 0.3, 0, 0.45. Okay, now find the value of x. So one thing to know about probability, it's all equals 1. It's either 1 or 0. 1 being most likely, and 0 unlikely, most unlikely. Okay. So 1, in order to find x, you're going to have to minus all these 0.2, 0.3, 0.45, minus 1 to find out x. Minus 0.2, minus 0.3, minus 0.45. That is 0.05. And now Kia throws a coin 50 times. Work out the expected number of times she scores 5 points. So 5 points is 0.3. So 0.3 times 50, 15 equals 15. And now Kia throws a coin 2 times. Calculate the probability that she scores either 5 or 0. Now when it's a probability and they say or, that's the keyword or, that means you add. Now 5 is 0.3 and 0 is 0.45. So you add 0.3 plus 0.45 is 0.75. And now she scores 0 with her first row, and is the second keyword. When it's and, you multiply, and now 0.45, which is for 0, multiplied by 0.3, which is the probability of getting 5, and that is 0.135. So she scores a total of 15 points with her 2 throws. And now 2 throws. She has 2 throws and she must get in the total 15. So what are the ways of getting that? So the first throw, she could get 0.3 plus 0.2. 0.3 times 0.2, that would be 15. First throw, she gets 0.3. Second row she gets 0.2, which is 10. That would equal 15. Okay, and now 0.2 times 0.3. But two rows, she could get in the first row 0.3 and the second row 0.2. So the order here matters. That means it multiply this by 2. Because it can either be 0.3 times 0.2 or 0.2 times 0.3. So there are two ways of doing this. That means multiplied by 2. That would equal 0.12. Okay, now Kia throws a coin 3 times. Calculate the probability that she scores a total of 10 points with her 3 throws. Total of 10 points. Now, how could she get a total of 10 points? The first way is 5. The second time it's 0. And then 5. That would be 0.3. 0.3 times 0.45 times 0.3. This is one way, number one. The second way is that she could get 0.2 times 0, which is 0.45, times 0.45. She could get 10 and then 0, 0, or 0, 10, 10, or 0, 0, 10. So these are the two ways. But these two ways, the first one can be written as 0.45, 0.3, 0.3, or can be written as 0.3, 0.3 times 0.45, and same goes for the second one. So for the first one, first you're gonna multiply them together and see how much they equal. Let me write them down below so that you can understand. The first one, as we said, is 0.3 multiplied by 0.45 times 0.3. So this is the first one. It would equal 0.0405. Okay, the second one is 0.2, which is 10, times 0.45 times 0.45, which is 0, 0, and that would equal 0.405 as well. Okay, now these are the two ways. For the first way, it can be written in 3 ways. For the first way, it's going to be 0.3 times 0.3 times 0.5, or 0.5 times 0.3 times 0.3, or 0.3 times 0.3 times 0.5. You get what I mean? It can be written in three orders. So you multiply it by 3. 3 times 0.0405, which is the sum of them. Which is the multiplication. Oh shit. And it's 3 times 0.0405. And it would be 0.1215. And same goes for the other one. 3 times 0.0405. Same result because the same numbers. 1215. Add these two together. You get 0.243. Now moving on to the next question. Okay, now write down the number of planes of symmetry of this cuboid. Okay. So basically, you can do it manually first. This is one plane of symmetry, and then you have this. So is another plane. There's another plane of symmetry, and the last one is this. Which is another plane of symmetry. So 1, 2, 3. There are 3 planes of symmetry. Now work out the surface area of the cuboid. So basically, the surface area of the cuboid is it's this side plus this side plus the upper side. So there are 2 of these, and 2 of these, and 2 of these. So it's 2 times the first one, which is 60 times 30. plus 2 times the second one, which is 35 times 30, plus the last one, which is 2 times 35 times 60. Okay, that is 19900. Now write your answer to part BI in square meters. So they want you to convert this to meter square. So basically, how to convert centimeter to meters? What you do is you divide by 100, right? So in centimeter square to meter square, what you do is simply, it's now squared. The centimeter is now squared and the meter is also squared. So naturally, the scale factor would also be squared. 100 squared divided by 100 squared. So it's 9900 divided by 100 squared, which is 0.99. And now calculate the length of AG. So where is AG? Where is AG? AG is basically this line right here. So if you redraw this thing, this whole thing, it's basically like this. And then something like this. Yes, something like this. Now this is G and this is A, or vice versa, I'm not sure. Anyways, but in order to find this length, so basically this is a triangle inside, right? So it's like this. A is this one is 30, sorry. This is 30. This one right here we don't know, but we do know that this is 60 and this is 35. 60 that's 35. We can find this one easily by 60 plus 35 using Pythagoras theorem, because this is also a triangle. 60 square plus 35 square equals that one, which is 69.9. Let's name it x. Equals x square. Now x equals 69.4622. 4622. And so we know this. We can use the Pythagoras theorem again, because we know that this is 30. This is 30. We know x, that this is 69.4662. We can easily find this using Pythagoras theorem as well. So 69.4622 squared plus 30 square, that would equal AG square. So AG equals 75.663. I recommend that you write the whole number, so that if you got something wrong, they at least give you, in rounding, they give you the mark, because some markers do that. 3, 7. So round 7.6 and 5.66. Anyways, now the angle between AG and the base, which is basically this one right here, which is this one, Let's name it x. We can use it, you can find it by using tan or sine or cosine, whatever. So let's find it using tan. So tan equals opposite over adjacent, which is 30 over 69.4662. And so we take tan to the other side, x equals tan negative tan 36.9.4662. Key that in your calculator, you'll get x equals 21.618. Don't forget the sign, which is degree. Now show that the volume of the cuboid is 63. Okay, now the volume of the cuboid is basically the base times height times the width. So it's 30 times 35 times 60, which is 63,000. And your right here shown. Now a cylinder of height 40 has the same volume as the cuboid. So this cylinder, height 40 centimeter, has the same volume as the cuboid, which is 63,000 centimeter cube. Calculate the radius of the... Okay, now, so basically how to find the volume of the cylinder, you have to know the formula, which is basically the area of the circle times the height. The area of the circle, which is pi r square, times the height, which is 40. And this is the volume of the cylinder, right? Which also equals 63,000, as mentioned above. So I divide both sides by pi 40 by 40. You will be left with r square equals pi 40, which is 501.338. Now r equals square root both sides to get rid of the square. This will cancel this, and now square root of 500 will get 22.39 centimeters. Now question 7. The diagram shows that the design for a logo made from a sector and two triangles. So basically this whole shape is a sector, if you pay attention. It's a sector and two triangles, which is this triangle and this triangle. And now, okay, we know the other information. So that the angle OAB is 15, which is this angle is 15. How can you show that? By finding this. So basically this is an isosceles triangle. Why is that? Because an isosceles triangle is basically when two sides are equal. And these two sides are equal because they're both radii. So 8 and 8, that means an isosceles. What does that mean? That means that this angle should also equal this angle. They're the same angle. Now that we know that two angles are equal, we can find, we know this one, 210, 360 minus 110, minus 210. That would be, let me think, it's 150. So we know that that one is 150, minus 180 minus 150. You get 30. Now this 30 divided by 2, because there are two angles, you'll get 15. Now that's shown. Calculate the length of straight line AB. Okay, we can use the cosine rule. Why can we use the cosine rule? Because we basically have two sides and angle between them. We can easily find that. So AB square, so just say AB equals square root of 8 square plus 8 square minus 2 times 8 times 8 times cosine the angle between them, which is 150. If you key that in the calculator, you will get AB equals 15.45. That is all. Now calculate the angle ABC. What is the angle ABC? Sine rule, which is sine y over 8 equals sine 72 over 15.45, which is this angle, sine this angle, over the corresponding straight line, and this same thing. So yeah, now we simplify this. We get sine y equals 8 times sine 72 over 15.4245, and then you take sine to the other side, and y would equal sine, it was 0.4924, and y equals 29.5. That is your answer, 29.5. Now calculate the total area of the logo design. So as they mentioned above, they said that this logo is consisted of 2 triangles and 1 sector. So let's say sector, then you write triangle 1, then triangle 2. So in order to find the area of sector, it's basically pi 8 square, which is r square, times the angle times theta over times 60. Theta is 72 over 360. Sorry, 210. 210 over times 60. That would equal 117.28. So now for triangle 1, it's half, using the formula, which is half AB times sine the angle between them. Half A 8 times 15.45 times sine 78.5. Why 78.5, you may ask. I'll tell you why. Sine 78.5 because this is the angle. Why is 78.5? It's 180 minus the angle y that we just found, and 72. Minus 72, you will get 78.5. Okay, now 78.5, you will get 60.559. And then again, that one is 8 times 8. This is a small triangle. Sine 150. 16. Then you add this together, this one, this one, this one. You'll get 193.845. Now the logo design is an enlargement with scale factor 4 of the actual logo. Calculate the area of the actual logo. So let's write here actual size. And then this one, which is basically 194. It's times 4. Want to go back? It's divided by 4. But of course, it's divided by 4 square. The scale factor is square because the unit here, if you know the centimeter square, it's an area. Area is square. Everything squared. So to find the actual size, it's 194 divided by 4 square, and you'll get 12.125, which is 12.1. And now, okay, functions, easy as ever. So G, substitute 1 in the equation G, you get 1 minus 3, which is basically negative 2, which is half. Negative 2, that's the answer. And then F, negative 2. Then substitute negative 2 in F, you get 5. Negative 2 plus 7, which is negative 10 plus 7, which is negative 3. That is your answer, negative 3. So moving on, put function f in G. And so G, f, function f in G, so 4. And then 5x plus 7 minus 3. You simplify that, and you get 5x minus 4. So that is your answer. So plus 4. Now G inverse. Let's y equals G and write y equals 4 over x minus 3. And now substitute x and y. Make y the subject. I basically multiply all by y minus 3 is equal 4, and then divide by x, and you will get y minus 3 equals 4x, and then take 3 to the other side, it would equal 4x plus 3. So G inverse x equals 4x plus 3. I think that's easy enough. And now f inside f inverse 2. Okay, let's find f inverse first. F inverse is basically y. So y equals 5x plus 7. And then substitute x and y as we did earlier, 5y plus 7. Make y the subject. Y would equal x minus 7 over 5. And that is f inverse. And now you put 5 in f negative x inverse, which is f2. Let's find f2. F2 is basically, what is f? It's 5x, which is 5, 2, plus 7, which is 17. And so you put, so f inverse f2 equals 17 minus 7 over 3, which is 10 over 5, sorry. This is 5, which is 2. That is your answer too. And now fx equals gx, show that it simplifies into this. So fx is 5x plus 7 equals gx, which is 4 over x minus 3. Okay, multiply all by x minus 3 to get rid of the denominator. You will have 5x plus 7 multiplied by x minus 3 equals 4. Now distribute 5x times x. It's 5x squared. 5x times negative 3. It's negative 15x. 7 plus 7x. And then 7 times negative 3, which is negative 21, equals 4. So you simplify fx squared minus 15x plus 7x is negative 8x plus minus 25. Because you're going to take 4 to the other side, it will be 25. So right shown. Okay, now solve fx squared minus 8x minus 25. That means when they say to two decimal places, they want you to use the quadratic formula, which is basically negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Which is negative is positive, so positive a plus or minus. So let's start with plus first. Plus b squared, which is negative 8 squared minus 4, a is 5, c is negative 25 over 2 times 5. Now this is in positive, and now let's write the same thing, but now in negative. Simply same thing, minus 4, 5. Now if you key that in your calculator, you will get here x equals 3.17, and here negative 1.75, 0.57, sorry. Okay, now last question 9. A line joins point A and point B. Calculate the length between AB. So basically use the formula, which is AB equals x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Now it's 4 plus 2 squared plus 13 plus 5 square. That would equal 18.027. Okay, now find the equation of the line AB. Give your answer. In order to find the equation of a line, you need the gradient and the point. And now we have 2 points. All you have to do is just find the gradient. The gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that would mean 13 plus 5 over 4 plus 2, which is 3. Now we know that the gradient is 3. All you have to do is this y minus y1 equals m, which is the gradient. X minus x1 is the formula. So y minus y1, which is, let's pick the 13 and 4, minus 13. M is 3. X minus 4. Simplify that. It will be 3x plus 1. Okay, now another line is parallel to AB and passes through the point 0 and negative 5. Write down the equation of this line. So what does it mean by parallel? Parallel, that means is the equal gradient. It also has a gradient of 3. And we know the point, we know the gradient. So basically y minus plus 5 plus 3, x minus 0. So y would equal 3x minus 5. Now last question. Find the perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector, it means like this one. It cuts the line in half. In half, what does that mean? You have to find the midpoint, and that would be the point you need to find the line equation. So the midpoint is basically, this is the line AB, right? We know the points A and B. So it's 4 minus 2 over 2 and 13 minus 5 over 2. That would be 1 and 4. This is the midpoint. And now the gradient of the perpendicular bisector is basically the reciprocal of the line AB. So it's the gradient, let's write here, gradient of perpendicular bisector is basically negative 1 over 3. So reciprocate the 3, it's going to be 1 over 3, and negative, add the negative, so it's negative 1 over 3. And now you write the equation, you have the point, you have the gradient, so all I have to do is just write the equation. Y minus 4 equals negative 1 over 3, x minus 1. And that would be y equals negative 1 over 3, x plus 13 over 3. And that is all. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to ask me or recommend any paper that you think I should do.